Now, so today we are discussed about the concept that is nothing but discharge. So what is meant by discharge generally? So discharge in the sense free from obligation, free from obligation. That is called as a discharge. Okay. So here generally in case of negotiable instrument, discharge is broadly classified into two categories. One is a discharge of instrument, discharge of instrument. Another one is a discharge of party to an instrument. Discharge of party to an instrument. So what is meant by discharge of instrument? What is meant by discharge of party to instrument? So wait, sir, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Citizen, sorry for the interruption. Citizen. So discharge means free from obligation. Generally, this discharge broadly classified into two categories. One is a discharge of instrument. One is discharge of instrument. Another one is a discharge of party to an instrument. ये क्या है? What is the difference between discharge of instrument? So discharge of instrument means all parties are discharged. All parties are discharge means free from obligation, or the primary liability party is discharged. So all parties are discharged, or the primary liability party to an instrument is discharged. That is called as discharge of instrument. We will discuss what is that. We will discuss. So discharge of party to instrument means, so any other than primary party, any intermediary party discharge from the instrument. Discharge from instrument. That is called as a discharge of party to instrument. Then I will explain what is that. What is the meaning related to that? Listen. Listen carefully, sir. Sir, here drawer of the instrument. He draw the instrument and deliver to the drawee. He draw the instrument and deliver to the drawee. Drawee accepted and resent to the drawer. Now, in this scenario, in this situation, who is the liability party, sir? Drawer is liable or not? Yes, he is liable to pay. Yes, sir, he is liable to pay. Now, what happened? The drawer, he holds the instrument. Now, he is holder of bill. Drawer can endorse the instrument to X. Yes. Then he is called as endorser and he is called as endorsee. We are already discussed about the process of endorsement. So X can endorse the instrument to Y. Y can endorse the instrument to Z. So as on due date, Z can approach the drawee for payment. Yes, so for payment, X can approach the drawee. So in this scenario, who is liable, sir? As on due date, the drawee is liable. A drawee is the primary liability party. Yes, a drawee is nothing but primary liability party. Primary liability. So drawee failure to pay, then these people are liable. These people are called as secondary liability parties. So what happens, sir? As on due date, generally as on due date, the jet is having a right to recover money from the drawee. Then jet approves the drawee. Drawee, no need to pay. No need to pay. Then what happens, sir? The endorsee releasing of is a primary liability party. The primary liability party is a discharge. All parties are discharged. The instrument gets discharged. The instrument gets discharged. So what is meant by discharge of instrument? Discharging of primary liability party. So in primary liability, drawee is liable, sir. You said that drawee no need to pay. Drawee, I am releasing you that you are not able to, you are not required to pay. Like that, releasing of primary liability party, it leads to discharge of all parties. It leads to discharge of instrument. So this is called as discharge of instrument. But ये क्या है sir? Discharge of party to instrument. Listen. So X endorsed the instrument to Y. Y endorsed the instrument to Z. Z endorsed the instrument to A. While Z endorsing the instrument, he mentioned the word sans recourse. ये क्या है sir? What is the meaning of sans recourse? We had discussed in the last classes. What is sans recourse, sir? Whenever Z make an endorsement to A, in future the bill gets a dishonor. A is not having right to sue on Z. Why? Because sans recourse endorsement means he expressly stated that I am not having any further liability. That is nothing but sans recourse endorsement. So whenever you make a sans recourse endorsement, this party only discharge from the instrument, remaining parties are liable or not? Yes. So this is called as discharge of party to an instrument. Discharge of party to an instrument. So like that, discharge is broadly classified into, these are the two categories. One is discharge of instrument, discharge of party to instrument. Discharge of instrument means primary liability party discharge. Discharge of party to instrument means intermediary liability party discharge. Whenever discharge of instrument means all parties are discharged. Discharge of party to instrument means a particular party only discharged. Discharge of instrument includes discharge of party to instrument also. Why? Because instrument discharge means parties are also discharged or not. So this is the introduction related to the discharge of instrument and discharge of party to instrument. Simple said, discharge means free from obligation. This is the two categories. Discharge of instrument means total instrument is discharged. It means primary liability party discharge. All people are discharged. Discharge of party to instrument means only a particular party discharge. Remaining parties are liable. Okay, remaining parties are liable. This is nothing but discharge of instrument and discharge of party to instrument. Yeah. This is nothing but discharge of instrument and discharge of party to instrument. Okay, so once again I'm revising. Discharge of instrument means primary liability party discharge. Discharge of party to instrument means only one party is discharged, the two, that is intermediary party. Instrument gets discharged, all parties are also discharged. Party is discharged, only a particular party discharged, not all the parties. Discharge of instrument includes discharge of party to instrument also. This is a basic introduction related to the discharge of instrument and discharge of party to instrument. Now, what are the scenarios? The instrument is discharged, discharge of instrument. What are the scenarios? Discharge of instrument. What are the scenarios discharge of party to an instrument? So listen. We discussed about discharge of instrument. So what is discharge? What are the situations instrument is discharged? What are the situations? Listen. Instrument discharge. First one is releasing of primary liability party. Basic definition. Primary liability party. So releasing of drawee, it leads total instrument is discharge. Clear. Next is payment in due course. So what is meant by payment in due course? Simple, sir. So drawer is there, drawee is there. Drawer endorse the instrument to A endorse to B endorse to C. As on due date, C approves the drawee make the payment. So there is no default. Whatever he promised on the instrument, the total payment is made without any fault. Then that is called as payment in due course. Whenever payment in due course, what happens, sir? The instrument is discharged or not? Both the parties are free from contractual obligations or not? Yes. Next is sir, operation of law. Operation of law. So instrument, when the instrument is discharged, court gives an order. Babu, no need to pay on that particular instrument. Like the court gives any order, then operation of law situations, the instrument is discharged. Okay, the instrument is discharged. Next is sir. Sir, rights and liabilities are vested with the same person. Rights and liabilities are vested with the same person. So rights and liabilities are vested with the same person. What is the meaning of that? So listen, simple. So A endorse the instrument to B endorse the instrument to C endorse the instrument to D endorse the instrument to drawee itself. Now instrument with whom said drawee? Who is having right to receive money? Drawee only. Who is having right to pay the money? Drawee only. Right is with the same person, liability with the same person. Whenever rights and liabilities are vested with the same person, then at that point of situation, what happens, sir? The instrument is discharged. Yes, the instrument is discharged. Like that, these are the situations releasing of primary liability party, payment in due course, operation of law, rights are and the liabilities are vested with the same person. These are the situations the instrument is discharged. Okay, sir, everyone is clear? The instrument is discharged. Clear, sir? Am I doubt in the instrument is discharged? So the rights and liabilities are vested with the same person. It is also called as negotiation back. Negotiation back means I can transfer the instrument and also to X, Y, Z like that. Finally, that is back to me only. I am having right to receive money. I am having liability to pay the money. Then that is nothing but rights and liabilities are vested with the same person. This is called as negotiation back. These are the situation the instrument is discharged. Everyone is clear? Discharge of instrument. Clear, sir? Any doubt? So what is a negotiation back? Negotiation back. So here A draw the bill and he sent to B for acceptance. He is a drawee and accepted. A endorse the instrument to C. C endows the instrument to D, D endows the instrument to E, E endows the instrument to F, F endows the instrument to B. Now, as on due date, B can approach whom, sir? B can approach B only. Why? Because he is the liable to pay, he is the right to receive. Rights and liabilities are vested with the same person. He called as negotiation back. Clear? In this scenario, what happens, sir? Instrument is a discharge. Clear? Clear, sir? This is negotiation back. Whenever negotiation back is there, then obviously what happened? These all parties are discharged. All parties are discharged means entire instrument is discharged. This is nothing but discharge of instrument. Now we have discussed about discharge of party to instrument. So discharge of party to instrument. So what is meant by discharge of party to instrument? We can. So what is the discharge of party to an instrument? Listen. Sir, here what are the scenarios? One of the important. SANS records endorsement. So in case of SANS records endorsement, so we already know A endorse the instrument to B, B endorse the instrument to C, C endorse the instrument to D. SANS records due date D approves the drawing. Drawing failure to pay, D can show on whom, sir? D can show on only A and B, not on C. Why? Because C made a SANS records endorsement. Whenever you are mentioned the word SANS records, you are not having any further liability. They are expressly stated that I am not liable for further liability. This is a SANS records endorsement. Okay, next is, sir. So we are already know about whenever as on due date, listen carefully. So as on due date, D can approach, submit the instrument at a drawing. Drawing failure to pay, it's not sans request, sir. Drawing failure to pay, then D can show on A, D can show on B, D can show on C or not. But one thing we have studied, before you are filing a case against A, B, C, you should give a notice of dishonor or not. Okay, sir. But the endorsee has a right to sue on endorser after giving notice of dishonor only. Suppose you are failure to give a notice of dishonor, then you can sue on A, you can sue on B, you can sue on C. No, sir. These all parties are discharged from the instrument. Not instrument is discharged. These parties only discharged. Why? Because you are failure to follow your duty. What is your duty? Your duty to send a notice of dishonor, but you are failure to send the notice of dishonor. And C, failure to give notice of dishonor. The endorsee fails to give notice of dishonor. So endorsee failure to give the notice of dishonor, then at that point of situation, the endorsee notice of dishonor he failed, then intermediary parties, the parties are discharged from the instrument. This is nothing but instrument is discharged. Okay, next is, sir. One more important example for discharge of instrument. Listen carefully. A is a drawer, B is the drawing, A is the drawer and B is the drawing. Then B is the primary liability party. He is liable at all. Now A is a holder of the instrument, holder. Then A endorsed the instrument to X. X endorsed the instrument to Y. Y endorsed the instrument to Z. Okay, listen carefully. So as on due date, Z can approach B for payment. For payment. So now Z is Z went to the B for payment. Then B failed to pay. Whenever B fails to pay, what happens? Sir? Z can chew on Y, Z can chew on X, Z can chew on A or not? Yes. So then in the same scenario, Y can chew on X, Y can chew on A. In the same scenario, X can chew on A or not? Why? Because every endorser is liable for all subsequent endorses. As on due date, this party failure to pay, then Z can chew on, what are the rights, sir? A, X, Y. So Y can chew on AX, X can chew on A. This is the normal situations. Every endorser is liable for all subsequent endorses. Endorsee can chew on any prior endorser, no doubt at all. But listen carefully. But what happened, sir? The moment when Jet received the instrument, then Jet can file a case against all the people. Jet strike off the X name on the instrument. He strike off the X name. Jet strike off the X name means Jet is interested to show on A and Y only. Jet is not having any interest to show on X. Then he can strike off the X name. So listen, but logic here, whenever you strike off the X name here, you can affect the Y right also. Why? Because sir, not only you, Y also is having a right to show on X. You strike off the X name on the instrument, Y also lost his right or not? Yes. Y also lost his right. Yes, sir. Why? Because you are striking on the X name, because of your striking, Y right also affected. Y also has a right to show on X, because you can strike off, Y also lose the right. So in this scenario, you are doing like that, you are affecting any previous endorser's right. Means what is that, sir? Holder impairs the right of previous endorsers. So Z is a holder now. He is affecting the Y right or not? Y also has a right to show on X, but because you are striking of the X name, Y also lost the right to show on X. The moment when you do like that, Y is a discharge from the instrument. Discharge of party to instrument. This is one scenario. What is that? Holder impedes the right of any previous endorser. Then endorser is free from obligation. Endorser is discharged from the instrument. Okay, so endorser is discharged from instrument. Clear, sir? This is nothing but one more topic related to the discharge of party to instrument. What are the discharge of party to instruments? Discharge of party to an instrument. What are the situations till now we have discussed? One is a sans recourse endorsement. So another one is a endorsee failure to give, failure to give. notice of dishonor, notice of dishonor. So third, discharge of party to instrument holder impairs the right, affects the right of previous endorser, impairs the right of previous endorser. Clear? Discharge of party to instrument. One more important point. What is one more important point? Listen. So most of the people mind intention draw the bill, draw the bill. That bill is sent for acceptance. Drawee accept the instrument and he resend it to drawer. Then drawer can endorse to X, endorse to Y, endorse to Z is permissible. But listen carefully. So whenever the drawer send a bill to Drawee for acceptance, so you can give an acceptance. So most of the situations, listen carefully. The most of the people are thinking that, sir, you should get an acceptance, then only you can endorse. No, sir. No, not like that. So even though there is no acceptance, even though there is no acceptance, bill can be endorsed to the parties. Yes, sir. Bill can be endorsed to the endorsees, even though there is no acceptance. That is permissible. Yes. Yes, sir, that is permissible. Sir, A क्या है sir? Whenever there is no acceptance given by the drawee, as on due date, Z approach to the drawee, as on that date he is accepted, then he can pay the money to Z. Generally, dishonor is two categories. Dishonor for non-payment, dishonor for non-acceptance also. Here, sir, drawee cannot give an acceptance as on due date, then that is called as a dishonor of the instrument because of non-acceptance. So you are not, it means you should remove that wrong intention in your mind. So bill can be endorsed, only accepted bill only endorsed. No, sir, not required. Even though there is no acceptance, the instrument is endorsed. That is permissible. Even though there is no acceptance, the instrument is endorsed. So as on due date, he can approach, as on that date he is accepted and he can make a payment. Okay, sir. So here what happened? What law clearly says that, so here Z presented the instrument for acceptance. Acceptance. Then within 48 hours time, he should get an acceptance. The moment when I can present the instrument to you for acceptance, within 48 hours from the date of my presentment, within 48 hours, within 48 hours from the date of my, from the time of my presentment, you should give your acceptance. So your failure to give an acceptance within 48 hours, or holder give an extra time more than 48 hours, he gives to the drawee without consent of the drawer. So at that point of situation, drawer is a discharge from the instrument. Simple, sir. You present the instrument for acceptance. Sir, you should give a maximum of 48 hours for response. He failed to give a response within 48 hours. Or you are providing more than 48 hours without consent of the drawer, then what happens, sir? Drawer is a discharge from the instrument. Drawer is not liable for that. This is called as discharge of party to instrument. What is that, sir? Discharge of party to instrument. The holder provides more than 48 hours of time to drawee for acceptance without consent of drawer. Without consent of drawer. So without consent of the drawer, you are providing, okay, sir, more than 48 hours. Then that situation drawer is discharged from the instrument. These are the concepts related to the discharge of instrument. Okay, sir. So you are receiving the instrument without acceptance, then you can present the instrument for acceptance. You are not received the acceptance within 48 hours, or you are providing more than 48 hours without consent of the drawer, then drawer is discharged from the instrument. These are the scenarios. The instrument is discharged. Okay, these are the concepts related to the discharge of instrument and discharge of party to instrument. Everyone is clear? Discharge of instrument and discharge of party to instrument. Everyone is clear? Any doubt? So out of discharge of party to instrument, one more important point, that is nothing but material alteration. Material alteration. So material alteration means change in rules and regulations of instrument. Whenever without consent of other party, you can change the rules and regulations of instrument, other parties discharge. What are those material alterations? What are permissible material alteration? What are non-permissible material alteration? We will discuss. Right, so I will show. Yeah. So now we are discussed about what is material alterations and what is a non-material alteration. So listen. Material alteration. Alteration of date of the instrument. So in instrument, if there is a date is 8, December 8 is there. Now we wanted to change as 18. This is called as material alteration, which will change the nature of a document, which will change the liability of a person. Okay, so alteration of time of payment also. So time you are mentioned one thing, now you are altered it. That is also treated as material alteration. Alteration of place of payment also, sir. You mentioned this is the place for payment, but what happened? You can change the place. Alteration of place of payment is also a material alteration. Alteration of amount payable, sir, 1000. Then we can change it as you should add 10. There's nothing but alteration of amount payable. This is also material alteration. Conversion of blank endorsement to special endorsement. We are studied. Blank endorsement means nothing is name is mentioned, payee name is not mentioned. But special endorsement means payable to a particular person. Conversion of blank endorsement to special endorsement, that is also treated as material alteration. Addition of new party to an instrument, that is also a material alteration. Should add one party, we should add new parties to the instrument. Those are called as material alterations. So alteration of the clauses containing the penal action. So in this particular instrument, there is some terms and conditions. If there is a penal action or you are failure to pay within the time, I have a right to sue on you, like that such penal action related sections are there. Then you wanted to alter. That is also treated as a material alteration. So these are all our material alterations. But what is a non-material alteration? Conversion of order instrument to bearer instrument. Okay, sir. Or bearer instruments to order instrument. Elimination of the words or order from an endorsement. Addition of the words endorsement. Alterations made with the consent of parties. These are all our material alterations and non-material alterations. But here, sir, material alterations, yes, these are the material alterations. So material alterations are there, but some material alterations are permissible. Permissible as per Negotiable Instrument Act. NI Act permit the negotiable some alterations. What are those? Simple, sir. You know about in-court instrument. So in-court means incomplete. No, you are fill the document. So you are filling means without consent of other party. It is a material alteration, but this is permissible material alteration. Sir, blank endorsement, sir. We wanted to convert to full endorsement. You are writing one person name without consent, even though this is material alteration, but this is a permissible material alteration. Like that, negotiable instrument act consists of some material alterations are permissible. Fill in the blanks in input instrument, conversion of bearer to order, order to bearer, conversion of blank to full and full to blank, crossing of a check. Since one person give a check, you can draw two parallel transitive lines on the face of the check without permission of other party. That is crossing of a check. Conversion of general crossing into special crossing. General crossing, sir. General crossing converted to special crossing. Just to dot in the I given to you, so you should mention bank name. So I am giving general crossing check, but you are converted to special crossing check. Even though so there is material alteration that is authorized by act. Sir, what is the importance of material alteration? Simple, sir. With the consent, you can with the consent or without consent. With the consent, party is not discharged. Without consent, party is a discharge. Parties at the time alteration are not consent of alteration. Yes, they are discharged from the liability. No, they continue liable. Clear, sir? This is nothing but discharge of party to an instrument. One of the things, material alteration. What is material alteration? What are the permissible material alterations as per Negotiable Instruments Act? Everyone is clear? So presentment of bill for acceptance concept. Already I told to you. Sir, bill can be endorsed. Bill can be endorsed even though there is no acceptance. The bill, suppose I am a drawer of the instrument, then I can present the bill for acceptance or not. He will give an acceptance within 48 hours. Otherwise, it is not. A bill, simple solution. Bill sent to the other party. Then what other party will do? Other party is accepted and resent to what happens, sir? Resent to this party. This is called as absolute acceptance. He cannot put any conditions for acceptance. Whenever while he is accepted, he put any condition that is called as qualified acceptance. That is not valid. Okay, so then he will give an acceptance within how many hours? 48 hours. Okay, so he accepts the instrument, then only he accept the instrument, then only his liability arises. He cannot accept the instrument, he is not liable. Liability of the drawee arises only when he accepts the instrument only. He can accept the instrument within 48 hours of the presentment, otherwise that is not valid. If he accepted without any condition, that is absolute acceptance. You put any conditions, that is qualified acceptance, that is not a valid acceptance. When you can present it before the date of maturity, you should present it during the business hours before maturity. Where you can present it, place of business, non-presentment, drawer and endorser are discharged from the liability. Simple, no? You are not presented, he is discharged from the liability. You are presented, then he is liable to pay. Clear as well? This is nothing but discharge of instrument and discharge of party to instrument. Out of the discharge of party to instrument, what is material alteration? What is permissible material alteration? After that, bill is presented for acceptance. What are the situations the party is a discharge? This is the concept.